campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, 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 so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or not.
Do not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those emails.
Yes, that was Nancy Mays and Jasmine Crockret. Y'all wanna see how hard these got started? Let's watch.
Jasmine Crockret.
I have an amendment at the desk.
So there's 5. Will the clerk? Everyone has the amendment. Everyone has the Crockett amendment on the desk. Will the clerk please report the amendment?
An amendment to the rules of the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform for the 119th Congress is offered by Ms. Crockett of Texas.
Without objection, the amendment is considered as read. I reserve a point of order. The gentlewoman is recognized for 5 minutes to explain her amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. During the 118th Congress, Oversight Republicans disbanded one of the most important subcommittees in Congress, the Subcommittee on Civil Rights and Civil Liberties. And now in the 119th Congress, the chairman and House Republicans have decided to prioritize the demands of the real president, Elon Musk, and his billionaire friends over the needs of the American people. Now, we are about to approach the birthday of Martin Luther King. It's actually tomorrow. And on January 20th will be the inauguration of Donald Trump, but it will also be the observation of MLK Day. And the fact that we have decided that in this country we are not going to honor civil rights should be something that we all take issue with. Considering the fact, for some that don't know what civil rights are about, because some people only believe that it deals with black folk, let me explain. Civil and political rights are a class of rights that protect individuals' freedom from the infringement by governments, social organizations, and private individuals. They ensure one's entitlement to participate in the civil and political life of society and the state. Defined another way, the right to be free from discrimination, the freedom to worship as we choose, the right to vote for our elected representatives, protections of due process, the right to privacy. If any of that sounds familiar, it is because these are rights that are born out of our Constitution, something that we all supposedly have sworn an oath to, and we swear to not only, we don't just swear to it, we are supposed to protect those rights. Interestingly enough, we just had the funeral of one of our beloved presidents, and I caught a flight to Austin on the day of the funeral. And I had the honor of sitting next to someone who was a little familiar with the White House. That person was Lucy Baines Johnson. And when I tell you that she is a wealth of information, I really mean that. And when we had an opportunity to talk about what she experienced as her father was president during a time in which, honestly, our country was on fire, and I would argue that unfortunately, our country is on fire right now. When I first ran for office, I ran for the state house and said that we were in the midst of a modern day civil rights movement, and I have not been convinced otherwise just yet. But this is the daughter of the president that signed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. She was also there when he signed the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And to be perfectly honest, without that voting rights, I don't believe that I actually would have a seat in Congress. And so I do believe in preserving the fact that everyone should be entitled to real and true representation, because I do have a Section 2 seat as our Voting Rights Act has been decimated. But one of the stories that she told me was that her father asked her about coming over to the Congress for the signing of the bill as it relates to the Voting Rights Act. Now, for her, it was a bit inconvenient as an 18-year-old to have to leave the White House and go over to Congress. And she asked her father, why should we go over to the Congress, Daddy, to sign this particular bill? And she said, we need to go over to the Congress because we need to pay due respect to those members of Congress that knew that voting for this bill meant that they would not be returning to Congress, but they had the courage to do what was right for this country and make sure that everyone's voices were going to be heard. The one thing that we could do, the very small thing that we could do, is have a little bit of courage and decide that we are going to reinstitute this particular subcommittee, because unfortunately, I don't see the type of courage that the people that served back in the 60s had coming out of some of our colleagues. And so I'm asking you to do the courageous thing today and just institute a subcommittee that would make sure that we are looking out for those protections of everyone in this country, to make sure that we have real freedom, something that we all supposedly espouse to believe in. And with that, I will yield.
Mr. Chairman. Member seek recognition. Ms. Stansberry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the gentlelady across the aisle demonstrating why we need civil rights. We need civil rights to protect all people, especially trans Americans who are under attack right now. I would like to yield the rest of my time to the gentlelady who is carrying the amendment.
I don't even know how we got there, because I tried to make it clear how many civil rights, it doesn't just boil down to one conversation, but I can see that somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, 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 so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, 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 so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all
I
to
am
tell
no
me
child.
whether or
Do
not
not call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I am 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more
have.
glass ceilings than you
Chairman,
have.
I am
Order, please.
reclaiming my
Let's go.
time.
You will not do that. I am
Order.
not a child.
I am
not a child.
reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not
Okay.
in order.
All right. Order.
Point of order.
Order. Chair recognizes Ms. Crockett.
No, point of order, Mr. Chairman.
State your point.
Is it allowed in the rules for a member to incite violence against another member? I mean, she wants to take it outside with.
hey, I have the First Amendment right too,
And
young
so
man. I have the
I'd like
First
those
Amendment
words
right.
to be
I'm not
taken
gonna be a
down.
child.
I
I'm
am
not gonna
moving
be
to have
called a
those
child
words
by
taken
any
down.
of you.
I believe it's against the rules to
Going outside
incite
doesn't
violence
incite
against
violence.
another
You have a
member of
conversation that isn't.
The committee will suspend. The member will state the words he wishes taken down.
where she said that we can take it outside, which is direct violation against the rules, inciting violence against another member.
What rule? What rule? Cite the rule. How does that incite violence?
Mr. Chairman, there are, if I might point out, Mr. Chairman, there are decorum rules in the House of Representatives.
And the two parliamentarians are discussing this right now. We'll suspend for a second.
Yes, what you saw happened right on the floor, where our lawmakers supposed to be making laws that's for sure going to make the life of the Americans better. But y'all saw what you saw? That was what happened. And a lot of people are just, having different views on this, because Nancy Mays, she do not understand the word child or child. And some say she not eventually acted like a child, because maybe she was not listening or something for her not to understand what Jasmine Crockret was saying, which is child, which is spelled Chile. You know what I mean? But Nancy May took offense to it, even though Nancy May said this once upon a time. Let me show you what she said before.
Kamala Harris. She's not giving
First of
speeches.
all, it's not Kamala. It's Kamala. It's
Kamala's.
Kamala. You had it right. You almost got
I
it.
will
You
say
almost
Kamala's
did
name
it.
any way that I want to.
No.
Rule for D and not for me. That's what Nancy Mace is trying to prove to us right now. The clip y'all just saw, credit to Kenneth, by the way, because he put it out there for us to be able to remind ourselves how Nancy Mace used to mispronounce VP Kamala Harris' name back then, right? Now the table has turned. She is not liking it. A matter of fact, Jasmine Crockret did not mispronounce her name. If you listen to the full conversation, she was just making a statement, laying out the fact. You know what I mean? But this is what I am going to say. 2025 just begun, and our lawmakers that they are supposed to be making laws to better their lives as Americans. You know what I mean? Making laws to better the lives of the Americans. This is what they are using their precious time to do it. I can bet y'all this ain't the reason why the Americans voted for them to go do on the floor. What do you guys think? Let's continue the conversation on in the comment section. Y'all can see that there is confusion on the floor. Even the chairman, he actually did not know how to even handle it. And y'all see later, Nancy Mace now saying, no, she has a freedom of speech. When they're about to give her a strike on what she said, everybody know when you say let's take it outside. Y'all comment down below what y'all think she mean. I will catch up with you guys later. Please let's respect ourselves while we comment. Thank you to all my return subscribers. Please do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Give your girl a thumbs up. Bye for now.